Hey guys, welcome back to Let Me Tell You Why podcast, Jeremy Jacobowitz. I am your host, Jeremy Jacobowitz, and this week we got a lot of fun topics. One, I am talking about the brand new iPhone 17, talking about the brand new Canon C50, and why I might have spent a little bit of money this week. And maybe I'm not ever going to tell you guys to spend money, but I'm going to tell you why I bought them, and maybe it's a good reason for you guys to upgrade. Also, a brand new Jose Andres restaurant is opening, some new New York City pizza, and a lot more in restaurant news. And of course, what I'm into this week, which includes my thoughts on the brand new Office spinoff, The Paper. And of course, only for you guys, merch is still on sale. This exclusive code SEPT25, that's SEPT25 for 12% off everything on jeremyjshop.com, including this brand new Never Toast a Fresh Bagel t-shirt. I designed it, I came up with it, I dreamed it up, and I put it to paper or the computer and then to t-shirt, and it's one of my favorite things. You get this in t-shirts in a bunch of different colors. You get this in mugs and hats and sweatshirts. It's basically fall almost. We're so close to fall outside. All those things, check it out, jeremyjshop.com. All right, let's get into some restaurant news. Miriam has been a beloved Mediterranean restaurant in Brooklyn and the Upper East Side for 20 years. And this past week, they've opened up a brand new location in the West Village. All their faves are there: tableside lamb shawarma, barekas, Turkish eggs, and more. Spoiler alert, after I record this podcast, I'm going there for brunch. So check it. So that video, I don't think a video would have been up by the time this comes out, but a video coming soon. Slice House just opened in the West Village with a focus, of course, on pizza, but sandwiches as well. They have traditional slices like margarita and pepperoni, square slices with ham and corn and potato and bacon, special slices like the polpetta and ricotta, and then the sandwiches, they look amazing. Meatball parm, mortadella, and burrata, plus a porchetta and porcini. I saw someone there yesterday. These slices legit look freaking delicious. And I did, when I saw this news, I was like, New York City pizza shop in New York City, what is this going to bring to the table? It looks good. It looks really, really good. Okay, how do you say this now? Chula, T-X-U-L-A. God damn it, I don't know. It doesn't matter. What you need to know is that this is the newest concept from Jose Andres, opening in Mercado, Little Spain. It is a steakhouse inspired by the flavors and foods of the Basque Country. Think Spanish lamb, Iberico pork, steak tartare, manchego mac and cheese. Oh my God, hell yeah. And so much more. Tradicionale is a Filipino-Spanish bistro and bar opening this fall. This menu looks amazing. They have a lobster palabok with roasted lobster gravy, pork rinds and crispy garlic, a sizzling short rib, and a longanisa fried rice, a Filipino sweet sausage. That sounds good. The Williamsburg location of Inde, a place I order in a lot from, is becoming in days, adding a ton of new dishes to their Indian comfort food menu. Think naan con tomate, biryani, Indian katsu chicken, and more. This Indian katsu chicken is so good. I love the way they mash up things. Like last time I went there, I did their lamb smash burger and their chicken tikka parm sandwich kind of thing. It was delicious. Nakara is a brand new Thai restaurant in Union Square that focuses on dishes from the north and northeastern parts of Thailand. Standouts from the menu include a Gayeng Gerdang, which is a chilled red curry. Kanam Krampu is a savory take on coconut street pancakes filled with crab and jam. And then the Kuokai Pid, is a seared duck breast tossed with Thai eggplant string beans and more. Crispy Heaven in Soho is launching dinner service for the first time, serving it every Friday and Saturday evening. The menu standout items include spicy chorizo pizza napoletano, a dry-aged burger of cheddar, wagyu tacos, roasted cauliflower, and so much more. Sounds like a dream menu to me. And finally, Uovo is coming spring 2026. It's an Italian restaurant from LA. They have locations all over there, but it's opening in Nomad, where every single day they are flying in. I don't know how they're making this happen, but they're flying in handmade pasta, which is made in Bologna, Italy, and it'll be served to you in New York City every day. Every day, fresh off the I was going to say boat, but definitely not a boat. Off the goddamn plane from Italy. You can get that at Uovo. Coming spring 2026. All right, let's talk about what you may have missed. First up, best fries in the entire world. I know I just did a whole episode about why we shouldn't call things best, but here I think we're close. I think we're very close. I went to Coney Island, I went to Nathan's, and I had the Nathan's fries, and there is no better fry in the world. I do not care what you think. This was a very divisive video. Of course, you can watch it everywhere, all social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. But there's something so magical about it. It's like I like a thick fry, a little crisp. I like a real potatoey, super salty, like a little sweetness in there too. Oh, I love Nathan's fries. The hot dog, a hot dog I hadn't had in a while. It was very salty. It was like a salt bomb went off in my mouth. It was a lot, but the fries, oh, the fries. Also, I went to a classic New York City pizza spot for the first time. I had had L&B Spumoni Gardens before. I had never actually gone there. I'd only had it ordered in. So I went, and I will tell you, the pizza's very good, but the Spumoni, which I never had before, I can't stop thinking about. So check that video out. 5 more must-eat New York City breakfast burritos. That video is out everywhere. But then if you want to see the full list of all the breakfast burritos I've eaten in New York City, check out my Substack, jeremysub.com. I think there's 15 breakfast burritos on that list. So for a city that, I think LA is like the epitome of breakfast burrito heaven. But New York City's getting there. Some really fun, interesting ones on there too. So check that out. And then the best hand rolls. I know we're saying best again, but I explained all. If you missed last week's, go back and watch last week's, and then we can move on for this. But went to Sushiro, and I was told gatekeep this one. Oh no, I'm not gatekeeping it. This place was amazing, especially for the price. These hand rolls were incredible, and I have to go back and try so much more. So that video, of course, is everywhere. Okay, so let's get to the main topic this week. I made some big boy purchases. We had a brand new iPhone and a brand new camera come out from Canon, and I pre-ordered both of them. And I want to talk to you about why I think it's good for me and why maybe it's good for you, and just my general overall excitement about new cameras and new tech. I love it. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I'm so excited. Let's talk about the Canon first. So Canon announced the Canon C50, the smallest cinema-based camera that they make. So currently, I shoot this podcast on my R5, but I shoot most of my main stuff on my R5C, which I've had for about 4 years now. And I shoot everything else on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I will definitely be upgrading to the 4, mostly because I broke it, but that camera's amazing too. But that's a topic for another day. So the C50, why I wanted to upgrade. I was even thinking like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I don't think I ever need to upgrade a camera again. Like, not that it's perfect, but like, I think we've just maxed out on what I really need. I don't need anything. What do I need? But then I saw the Canon C50 and I was like, take my money. So here are the big things for why I think it's going to be a great upgrade for me. So how do I explain this without being like the most nerdy person ever so it makes sense? Basically, camera sensors are like this. This is what captures everything you're filming, right? And generally the way it works is the sensor is yay big, and then it kind of makes little crops depending on how you're shooting it, what mode you're shooting in. And for layman's terms, horizontal is 16:9 and vertical is 9:16. So generally you're shooting 16:9. And when I do that, I have to find the crop within there of how to get 9:16 for vertical, so I don't have to shoot things 1,000 times. But it's never using the full sensor. So what Canon has done is you're now able to shoot the full, I believe it's 3:2 sensor, and you're never going to export a video at 3:2. But what it allows you to do is it's recording with a little bit more height. Why is that important? That's important because now I have more room for that 9:16 crop. So now it's going to be so much easier for me to shoot both wide for YouTube and vertical for Instagram, TikTok, all social media at the same time. And that's huge for me. For someone that shoots content for both, that is tremendous. What it also allows you to do is, I don't know if I'm going to do this necessarily, but you could actually export 2 different versions too, because it has a dual SD card slot. You can record your full YouTube thing on one card and record just the 9:16 on another card. And you could have a workflow like that. I don't think that's what I'm going to be doing, but that's very, very, very cool. Especially if you're part of a team and one team's doing vertical, one team's doing horizontal or whatever, like that's awesome. So that is like a huge upgrade that almost no other camera has that is basically worth it enough for me. But on top of that, better battery life. The reason why I shoot my podcast on the R5 is that even though it could overheat faster, the battery life is much better. Where if I have to do the R5C, I'm eating through those fucking batteries and I don't want to deal with that. Better autofocus. The autofocus is like fine enough for what I do, but anything that's going to be better is always tremendous, especially as a solo shooter, especially as someone that like, I can't always see what I'm filming. I kind of have to pray the autofocus is working. So any improvements there, I'll always take. Smaller body, it's not that much smaller. You lose the viewfinder, which I frankly don't ever really use. So it's a little bit of a smaller body. And again, I'm throwing everything into my backpack. Any size I can I could save at all is tremendous. Anything to save my back is tremendous. I'll take it. C-Log 3. So again, I'm trying not to get so in the weeds here because I know like my audience on this is not like hardcore camera people, but basically it's how you color footage. So what you're watching right now is not what comes out of my camera. What comes out of my camera is this like non-contrasty, non-colored log footage that it has all the detail in there that I then bring out with a LUT. and that's all C-Log 3. This now allows you to shoot C-Log 2, which is just a different way they capture, basically, and allows more dynamic range. So the difference between the blacks and the shadows and the highlights. And it should be easier to color, too. Like with C-Log 3, I find like it oversaturates the reds a lot. And my face is very red. So it's a constant battle of like taking red out of there and making sure I don't take too much red out of whatever it is because my face is so red. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And it's just an annoying thing. And this should make my life easier there too. And it shoots 7K. I don't know. I don't really need 7K necessarily. But it's not the worst to have, especially just more detail as you crop in. And especially again, with like the bagel show I'm doing where I'm not filming with multiple cameras. I have one camera set up and then punching in to pick off my singles. So it just looks like I have separate camera angles. It's actually really helpful to have a camera that's that high definition. So then when you punch in, you don't really lose anything when you export at 4K. All huge things. I didn't think I needed a new camera a week ago and then decided, yeah, I do need a new camera. Now, do I wish things were different in it? I wish I had a better screen. I have an external monitor and use it, but again, I don't like carrying around a lot of shit with me, especially when I'm just solo filming. And Nikon put out their new camera this week with a 4-inch screen, and it looks so goddamn sexy. And I wish Canon had made a better, bigger screen. But I guess I'll have to wait for next time for that. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. It comes out at the end of November. I'll be making videos about it, so stay tuned for that. I'll be making videos about the camera, and then clearly I'll be making all my videos with that camera. So you will see a lot of it soon. But let's talk about the new iPhone, which I think more people here are probably excited by, and way more people here are probably going to buy. So they announced the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Air, or just iPhone Air, sorry, not 17. The iPhone Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max. I went with the Pro Max because I will always go with the Pro Max. One, I want the biggest screen possible. I want the most power possible. I want the most storage possible. I want the biggest everything possible because the phone is truly the tool that I use more than everything else in the entire world, and I will upgrade every single year. They could have said the only upgrade on this phone is like it spits on you. And I'd be like, well, it's the new iPhone. I guess I'm purchasing it. But I actually think this year had the biggest upgrades in years to an iPhone, especially the way I would use it. So let's talk about what I love and why I upgraded and why it might be good for you. One, the new front-facing camera is insane. So not only did they upgrade the sensor, which is just tremendous on its own, but what you're able to do is because it's basically using that same idea of like a square sensor where it's just picking off the angles that you want. When you're taking like a selfie, it's vertical, the way it normally vertical. And then sometimes you want to do horizontal, you'd flip the camera like this and it's awkward and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do it anymore. The way the sensor works is that it's always cropping in a little bit to get the crop that you want. So without changing the way you're holding the camera, it could do vertical and horizontal. I did the opposite here. But selfies, which is honestly like a tremendous change. And it'll do it automatically. I don't trust that shit. I don't want my camera doing automatic shit for me, but that's very cool too. Honestly, like for someone that makes content all day, who's constantly doing selfies, the ability just to get way, 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 way better ones is huge. Like I hate using a selfie camera, but it's just the easiest one to use sometimes, especially if I'm at a restaurant and I only have my camera on me. I gotta like flip the phone. I don't even know what I'm filming, blah, 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 blah. This is gonna be huge. Better battery life. Listen, every year it's gonna be a better battery. And for me, honestly, that's just the reason to upgrade. Even if it's slightly better overall, just the fact that I've been using a phone for a year means that that battery's drained a little bit. I'll take the freshest battery of all time. It's always fucking worth it. All the back cameras are now 48 megapixels, which is huge because it was only the main sensor before, but now for wide shots, for normal shots, wide, ultra wide, and telephoto, they're all 48 megapixels, aka they all should look better. I think the zoom is different this year. I forget the exact times, but I very rarely use zoom, but when it comes in handy, it's handy enough. And again, any upgrades are good upgrades. What do I care? And then just look at it. Like there's all these memes about how like Apple never changes the iPhone. I think that's really silly. It's like they have to put out a new product every single year. It's not going to be these transformative things every single year. But when you look at it over time, it really is a tremendous difference. And I think the design this year is really, really sexy. Like I like it. It looks good. I got the orange. So I got the 17 Pro Max, 1 terabyte because I need it. And that's me refreshing the memory, refreshing all my photos and videos every year. I start fresh every single year and I'd still fill that fucker up. And in the orange looks good. I like this little two-tone. I like the new plateau on the back. I think it looks really good. And while like the iPhone Air looks cool, it is not for me. I need the most battery life and that thing's not gonna have it. I need the best cameras and that thing's not gonna have it. And I've used very thin phones before while testing with them. And I don't think they're that comfortable, honestly. I like having a thicker phone in my hands. I think it's just easier for some reason. I don't know. So I don't know if that's gonna be the phone for you, even if you're like, ooh, that one looks cool. I think you're gonna get frustrated by it very, very quickly. I think for most people, the Pro is probably the best thing. Like if you don't need that giant screen, you don't need the bigger battery. I think I'm like a power user, so I need that. But the Pro probably best for you. But let me know which one you'll be getting. And I'm such a crazy person that I'll be in LA when they ship. So I shipped it to where I'm staying in LA because I want that thing day one. I'm psyched. All these new cameras. Oh, can't wait. I can't wait for the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 too. Bring it on. I'm ready to spend all the money. All right, now let's talk about what I'm into this week. Okay, so I watched the new spinoff of The Office, The Paper. I will say I really liked it. It felt more like Parks and Rec than The Office did because The Office was, especially at the beginning, was like it was like a mean show. It was a mean show. It was a dark show. It was like incredibly funny. You obviously had the Michael Scott character, just this like wild person there, and Parks and Rec just felt like this like sweet, innocent, like go-getters with still some wacky characters, but there was like a real heart to it. That and The Office had heart too, but like a very different sensibility in Parks and Rec, and that I felt come through much more in The Paper, which follows a local Toledo, Ohio newspaper as they try and like become a newspaper again. Characters are really great. Everyone's very sweet. I liked that it felt like pared down. I think that like it wasn't so broad, and The Office got really broad. And I kind of liked the show coming back to realism a little bit. Very funny, very sweet, very laugh out loud moments. I will say that like it was 10 episodes, which made it very easy to watch. It's on Peacock. They dumped all of them at once. I do think that with the comedy, having 10 episodes hurts. I think that like the comedies get funnier as you understand the characters better. And in 10 episodes, not only can you, as a viewer watching it, not necessarily understand the characters as well, but I don't think the writers and the actors understand the character as well. And like that's where the humor comes from. And I think that's a big problem with shows in general, especially comedies nowadays. It's like, comedies used to get 23 episodes in that first season to figure out shit, and by season 2 they got good. Now it takes 3 seasons just to get there, and it's really difficult. So I felt like they rushed through a lot because it's 10 episodes. They rushed through these, like, things were changing very quickly just to try and have these arcs happen. And I'm like, damn, I wish we'd had more time just to like get to know these people, have these side adventures, like build up everything, build the world up better because there's so much potential there. And I think 10 episodes really hurts it. So they already got picked up for season 2. So I hope they have more time to do more stuff there. But yeah, I was excited by it. Definitely, I think it's if you're expecting The Office, it's not The Office. If you're expecting Parks and Rec, it's a little bit more like Parks and Rec, but it's sort of taking some of the DNA from those shows and having it work. And there is a story. The jumping off point is explaining why this documentary crew is no longer at Dunder Mifflin and is now at this newspaper. I won't spoil it. It's the first like 10 seconds of the show anyway. But yeah, I think it's worth it. Very cute. I loved everyone in it. Very funny. Check it out. And then the complete opposite side, I watched the new Charlie Sheen doc on Netflix, and holy fucking shit. Charlie Sheen has been in the news my entire life. And generally when Charlie Sheen is in the news, it's not good news. But sort of what has happened is, it's like all these things over my almost 40 years of living, you kind of like forget, oh yeah, that thing of Charlie. Yeah. And like on their own, they're kind of crazy. But when you watch, it's a 2-part thing on Netflix, like an hour and a half each. So when you watch this 3-hour documentary on Charlie Sheen and all of the craziness is just in 3 hours, you're like, how the hell is this dude alive? How did one person do all this? And what the fuck? His story's crazy. And, most of it is narrated through him, through a long interview with him. It's him telling a story. There's stuff in there that he says he's never said before. I've definitely never heard before. So there's, even if you think you know the Charlie Sheen story, you do not until you watch this, which is crazy. But then they got a lot of different interviews with lots of other people, Sean Penn, Denise Richards, his daughter, his son. I didn't even know he had kids. His third wife, Brooke Mueller, like all these things that you kind of, for John Cryer, like all these things you kind of forgot. And it's in this thing. And like, I mean, his career, his life is crazy. His career was insane. The fact that he's alive is crazier. And yeah, so definitely not the paper, a very different vibe, but really, really, really interesting. A very quick watch. Like the way it was produced that I love necessarily. They had a lot of like weird reenactment stuff and weird like B-roll stuff. And I was just like, I could have you didn't have to do anything. Literally put the camera on Charlie Sheen for 3 hours and let him talk. And that would have been good enough because he's so charismatic and he has such an insane story to tell. Like I think they try to amplify it a little bit. I'm like, you don't need to amplify anything. This is just him is fucking crazy. But yeah, definitely worth watching. Check it out on Netflix. 2-part, 3 hours, super fucking easy. And that's it this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please subscribe, give me 5 stars, leave a comment, do all those things because if you're made it this far, you enjoy it, and I would love more people to enjoy it too. And I will see you guys next time.